This is Dr. Shiraz Farouk and Sydney Farouk.
How's it going tonight, everyone?
Hi guys, we're at the DaBootyDoc Talk.
And we're coming at you today with episode number 3, my favorite number.
Correct. Today we have done 2 episodes so far, and we've gotten a good response from everyone.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you're here tonight, say hey, give us a comment. We'll be hearing from you hopefully throughout the show.
Thank you, folks. We are here, very happy to be live on our show called the DaBootyDoc Talk, where we talk about anorectal and colorectal problems that are common and can help a lot of our patients. We bring it in a very casual manner to you, try to make it very simple and layman terminology, add some humor in it.
That's why I'm here. I'm the layman. Just kidding.
We're all laymen.
He's the doctor expert. But of course, yeah, we're not trying to give you medical advice necessarily, but just to kind of guide you on this journey that you might have down there when you don't know what to do. So that's our
Thank you
goal.
so much for joining in. Happy to have you guys here. We'd like to know where you are from. So if you join in, please give us an idea where you are and what you would like to.
Maybe we'll come join you, do a live episode there too. You never know.
Are they going to pay for the ticket? Would like that if that's possible, but we might be able to work something out.
We'll trade services, I guess. Free examinations across the U.S. to host the
I don't
Booty
know
Doc.
about that, but we can do something. Anyways, we're here at Colwell, America after work, and we thought that we would talk about our favorite topic, which is the booty.
That's
today.
right.
And the Booty Doc is here with Sydney Farouk, who's my spouse and partner, and we are going to be talking about our favorite topic today, which is
Fissures.
anal fissures.
Cracks in the butt.
So anal fissure is spelled Fissure, fissure. So
Yeah.
it's a little difficult to pronounce, and I see a lot of people have difficulty, and they ask about what a fissure is, and a lot of times we try and make a joke and tell them that it's a crack in the crack.
Essentially, yes.
Essentially,
You might have heard the term used with other things too. Fissure just really means a crack or
Or a
like
cut,
a tear in
or
something.
how would you say, a crevice? Not a crevice, like a cut.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. So if we're talking about mountains here, then maybe.
Correct.
So yeah, let's go in a little bit more detail. I think everyone's kind of got the gist. So we're gonna start our frank conversation off today with what is a fissure?
I don't have any sound effects, but I should have a bell or something.
Don't make me get a soundboard.
So what is a fissure? Anal fissure is a tear in the lining of the anus that happens when somebody pushes too hard or is constipated or has to go a lot, that when you have diarrhea, then you have to go a lot.
Now,
So-
how big are we talking here? We're like tiny, a big tear, something.
It could be a minute
Hello?
tear, or it could be a tear from here to California. I'm not kidding.
No, but
Not really. I mean, like these are small tears. They happen at the junction of the anus and the lining that is outside, and that happens right at the anal brim or at the edge of the orifice.
Is it something that I can touch and notice, or do I have to see it, or what's kind of my expectation?
Initially, patients normally, if they've had constipation issues or if they've had excessive diarrhea, then they will be like, oh my God, I have something going on. And all of a sudden you may have a sudden twinge or an itch or a burn or a sharp pain. And you may not be able to feel or touch much in that area because it may be swollen or not maybe swollen acutely, but it'll get worse over time.
Okay.
So you will
talking
be able
like minor paper cut kind of situation.
kind of think of it as a paper cut of the anus or the bottom where it rips open, and then if it doesn't heal, the rip gets worse. So maybe that's what it is. Yes.
Okay. So pretty simple thing then. There's not a lot of variation between this. We got just
No,
a cut in the butt.
a
So
cut in the butt is a complex problem. It's the number one cause of a true pain in the butt. You know, I mean, we've all heard the phrase
wait,
pain in the
isn't
butt.
that wives or husbands?
Well, your spouses can be pain in the butt, but don't take my word for it, or hers for that matter. We're not experts at it. We're not marriage counselors or anything else. But pain in the butt is an anal fissure or a hemorrhoid or something else. But a lot of times we see patients that are misdiagnosed with a fissure, and they have, and so that's why it is important to talk about this. And it is one of the causes of being a pain in the butt, or having a pain in the butt, I would say, more likely.
Which can probably cause some marital problems too, because everyone knows if it hurts when you poop, you're not gonna be a happy camper on the other end.
Yeah, so make sure that your spouse is helping you there and making you eat some fiber and cornflakes, or make you a good meal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So symptoms wise, what are we talking about?
Ouch! Basically, pain in the butt. I mean, you're hurting. You're calling everybody and saying, "Oh my God! I mean, I am in pain." I mean,
Only a colorectal doctor will call everybody because he probably knows other people that want to talk about that. But one thing I hear all the time, and maybe you guys can relate to this, patients will call and say, "It feels like I'm pooping glass." All right. Before I worked in this office, I really was like unsure about that one. I'm like, how could it hurt that bad? What's that sensation? So
a lot of times you might have seen some Instagram memes about a chair that has pieces of shards of glass on it, or they portray anorectal pain by showing shards of glass or a knife cutting through the area.
And people don't usually eat that, so it shouldn't be coming out the other end.
No. But there are. Have you ever gone to a circus where they make you swallow, the guy or the girl is swallowing a whole sword or a shard of glass, and I'm like, oh my God, it's actually magic, real magic. But the feeling that most patients get, and what they have told us, is that they feel like they are pooping shards of glass, or that they are ripping so much like it's a knife slicing through them. Now,
feel like someone's stabbing you, rather.
you, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think anybody's ever pooped shards of glass, number one, or has had a knife slice through them all the time.
Okay, hold on. I told you about this one the other day, though. Did you know, brief interjection, that several kings back in the day were murdered that way because they would have their toilets attached to the outside of their castle, and people would crawl up the castle through the toilet and then stab the royalty guy right up the butt. So
I've heard that. You were talking about this with the lavatory that the English used to have, and it would hang out, and then somebody would climb up. Number one, they have to be Spider-Man to climb, okay?
It's a little messy too, I imagine.
I'm sure they have a moat and alligators and everything around it. It's
traditional.
But being cut in the butt, if I could say that, or being stabbed in the butt, is one of the symptoms that you have, that you feel like you not that I've experienced it myself, but I have seen a lot of patients with this problem. So
that's funny. I was going to ask you that today too. Like,
no,
have you experienced this before?
I have been very blessed that I've not had an anal fissure myself. I'm saying it live on video in front of the whole world.
I believe him.
It truly hurts.
I mean, that's a good point though, because if you're trained about pains in the butt, then you're going to be a lot more likely to avoid them. So we can definitely talk about that later too. But
so this is one of the things that I think patients and people should know. Mm-hmm. It's one of the pains in the butt that really hurts, and it really hurts when you have a bowel movement. Mm-hmm. So if you're evacuating your bowels or pooping, and you start to develop sharp pain, then you need to understand that you may have a tear or a rip in that area, and you need to go see a doctor for that.
So it might only hurt during bowel movements, possibly, depending.
Most commonly, when there is a large bowel movement that is opening up the orifice or exiting out, the rip enlarges. As you can imagine, if it's a small tear, it'll get bigger, and then when the bowel movement comes, it hurts. And along with the sharp pain, you also get itching and burning.
Why is that?
So itchy butt is a symptom of fissure. It happens because the lining is exposed, the mucosa or the tear has exposed the underlying tissue, and when poop or other stuff is in contact, it causes irritation, and that causes a itchy butt. So
So
a
kind of
painful
like
butt
when you have like
and
a
an
cut
itchy
and
butt.
it's burning.
Yeah, exactly. Like a knife cuts through you, and then you're like, oh my god, it hurts and burns. Same thing, similar idea. And I mean, there's a lot of science to it behind it, but that's the basic idea
I
that.
want the science. Just kidding. Call
Well,
Bill Nye. See what he can do for us. Is he
Yes.
still in business?
I don't know. I haven't. I don't watch TV, so
We don't have a television, guys. So this is our TV for
this is
you.
not TV.
Enjoy the
So-
entertainment.
Along with the pain, the itchy butt, you may also get swelling. Okay, you may have difficult bowel movements, and you may get constipation where you feel like the anus has gone into a spasm. So that'll cause you to back up and not have a bowel movement because now you're afraid to go to the bathroom.
I've heard you say this to surgery patients a lot too, because after you perform a surgery, that area is spasming some. So you actually, I think, usually give them muscle relaxers too, because if that area is spasming, it's not going to allow you to have a bowel movement.
Yeah, think of anus like the gatekeeper. If the gatekeeper is hurt or the
one.
gate is not working, the poop's not going to go through, basically.
So your biological process kind of shuts down.
Shuts it down.
Because it's like, something's wrong here. We're not going to cooperate until we figure this out. Well, and that's another issue. Then you might experience other things like constipation because you're not able to evacuate your bowels.
Correct.
like
So
usual.
along with abdominal pain, constipation, bloating feeling that you get, you may also have some bleeding. Now, rectal bleeding or anal bleeding, along with anal pain or rectal pain and itching, are three major issues that happen when a cut happens or a fissure happens. So if you're getting blood on the toilet paper that's dripping after the bowel movement, with the bowel movement, then you may have this problem or something else which needs to be addressed. Either way, you gotta go and
We
see
talked about blood before. If you're having blood, see a doctor usually.
a medical provider, see a physician, see somebody who has some input on it and can help you with that. Yes.
What about diagnosis? How am I going to find out about this? A little hard to see. We talked about it being, maybe
So,
very
yeah.
small. It's on the lining of the anus, so it's
So
not always visible.
So you're right. Anus is an area of the body that we cannot see. We can see most of the body, the hands. We can twist ourselves, etc. But looking at your bottom is a very difficult process, and you may need a mirror, a camera, or you may need help from somebody who can look
Do
at it
they
and
make
tell you.
special mirrors for that?
Well, everybody has a phone nowadays. You can
Take a
look at
picture
it,
of
take
it.
a picture
True.
of it, and believe me, our patients bring pictures of their bottoms that we look at.
Yeah, sometimes we have to
and stuff like that.
discourage that. You guys are very anxious to send Dr. Frick pictures of your butt.
Yeah, we don't want that, but a lot of times you're able to visualize that with assistance. So once you do that, then you can identify it. Now, here's a caveat. A lot of times anal fissures in our medical field can be missed even by physicians because you're looking at the bottom, which you have to expose, and look at it. The area may have a lot of hair in there. There may be other hemorrhoids or anal skin tags. So you have to have the expertise to examine. But before that, I'll go one step behind and I'll tell you that history taking is so important. So when I talked about, taking, you having rectal pain, anal pain, pain in the butt, having bleeding, having itchy butt or burning. So if you ask the right questions, then you're able to determine that, there's a big possibility that's what's happening.
You can rule things out. Yeah, so that's good. And you could use that for really any medical advice. If you're having symptoms of some kind, you don't know what's going on, record, diary what you're feeling, experiencing, because that helps your doctor a lot too. And so many patients come in and they're like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago and this or that.
So having a good detailed history really is important. And the next step, as you were saying, is a physical examination where the patient or the human being, patient, I guess, comes.
Everyone's a patient. All you humans out there are patients. Sorry.
Well, all human beings have some pathology, and as a healer and a physician, we sometimes look at people through that eye, but that doesn't mean that we don't believe you're human beings. You know,
You're
if
not
you're
real.
coming with a suffering and pain, then we are there to help you. So
But the point is that
a physical exam is important. So that's where a trained provider or a doctor is going to look inside and examine you first with the naked eye or glasses, and then
microscope lens.
well, you can use a magnifying glass. A microscope is not necessary, or you have a special device called the anoscope. Now, an anoscope is a device that has a light attached to it in some cases, and you can slowly insert it through the anus, and some doctors may require that to open that area and look at the edge. Now, you're looking right at the edge to see if there's a cut in that area, and even then, sometimes that is very difficult to find.
So just to clarify too, anoscope, that's done in the office. It's not like a colonoscopy. It's not a procedure where you're put to sleep. You don't need any pain medication before or after, no numbing cream. It's just simply a utensil that's used in the office. Kind of like if you're a woman and you have your annual feminine checkup. So it's going in your butt instead. It's a different tool.
Correct.
But very similar.
Correct. A vaginal speculum is just like that, and it's a tool to open up the area so you can see very clearly what's going on, and that's been around for a while. So anoscope exam is maybe the next step, and then after that, most of the time, our training and our expertise is able to diagnose this problem, and then we can go on to how do you fix this problem.
Right. What was I going to mention too about the exam? He was saying misdiagnosis. So definitely a lot of our patients come in and they've been seeking several doctors, gastroenterologists, their primary care to find out what's going on. Dr. Freak gets a hold of them and he can immediately tell. Now he knows what he's looking for and is basing it on their history and what they're describing too, but it's kind of surprising to see how many patients come in and don't realize, and then it just takes the right person and the right eyes. So you need that experience.
Correct.
It makes a difference. So
I
encourage going to a specialist if you're not getting answers. Find your specialist.
Correct. A lot of times you have to get extra training to understand some things, and this is one of those hard to diagnose, easy to find symptomology and pathology, but it can be missed. Yes, we have seen a lot of patients that have gone around and have gone to gastroenterologists and primary care doctors or internists with an itchy butt, rectal bleeding, pain in the butt, and they don't have answers. And
a lot of this symptomology can be related to other things too. Correct. Or you might have more than one problem. Like you said, you might also have hemorrhoids. You might also have
some other problems also. So it is important for you to seek medical help. And that is the number one point I want to nail it in. Go see a doctor or a provider if you have something like that. If you hear this talk, this is just for educational purposes. Go and seek medical help, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what's your treatment options? So if it's diagnosed, what do you do?
So after you diagnose, you yell at the patient, okay? Because prevention is better than cure, okay? That's where I have really put it down that if a patient is coming to you for something, you need to first go back and rewind the tape and see what did they do that led to it, okay? Now this is the mouth, the anal orifice is at the other end. And think of this as a one tube that goes from one end to the other.
A to B.
A to Z.
Or Z, yeah.
Well, there's alphabets in the middle. You can be A to B also, point A to point B, okay? So in between these 2 points is a lot happening to you as food is ingested, digested, consumed, and processed. And when it's exited, that's when things happen. So if you're able to take care of your gastrointestinal tract from A to Z or A to B, depending on your point preference, you are able to help them. So here comes the big pearl of the night. Eat more fiber. Aha, see, I have to bring it in. Why is that important? Because
but it's true.
Fiber is a wonderful food product that is underappreciated. You know, I think it should be part of the food pyramid, and instead of saying protein, carbohydrates, fats, we should say protein, carbohydrates, fats, and fiber.
Right.
Okay, because fiber, when you add extra fiber to your diet, that is like a brush cleaning you out. And what that does is prevents constipation. So we talked about hard poops.
True.
A hard poop is something that rips the anus and causes the tear. So a fissure can be caused by constipated,
Pushing,
hard bowel movements,
spending a lot of time on the toilet.
also by diarrhea. So if
Diarrhea.
you're not eating good food, you may get diarrhea symptoms. And why is that important, guys? Most of us eat out every single day or every second day or third day in America and the rest of the world. People are not staying home to eat. During COVID, actually, if you look at it, you will see a lot of pathology, a lot of disease went down because people were making food at home. The restaurant industry and
Or they were buying up all the freezer food.
Yes, you can, but you can choose. But eating food at home means that you have prepared it properly with your hands, which you probably washed. The food is probably washed, and probably you have used ingredients.
Let's assume all of these things.
No, really, really. Come on. I mean, like if you're at a restaurant or somewhere else, and this is anecdotal stuff from my mom, who doesn't like to eat out, and she tells me that if you don't eat out, you stay healthier. And that's actually true because you're not getting exposed to a lot of pathogens, a lot of other processes that can cause problems.
And you're conscientious of what you're cooking and doing. So,
Correct.
you're paying attention to how much oil or butter you're using, how much salt you're using.
And sprinkle some ground flaxseed on top of it because that's one of the super fibers that we talk about.
So you can incorporate things that aren't being incorporated in restaurants that are critical to your dietary health. So
when anybody says, "What's up, doc?" What do you say? Eat more carrots. Eat more
because
fiber.
they're high in fiber?
Correct.
All right. So Bugs Bunny knew all along.
So second thing, hydrate yourself. Lots of liquids, okay?
Yes.
Don't be in like a stressful situation. Relax, your mind and body should get better. So all of those things will help you. Then what else can you do? You can apply a cream of some kind that will help you, and that's medical therapy. So prevention.
Is that prescribed by a doctor or are these home remedies you're talking about?
A lot of times patients start out with home remedies. I mean, nobody's going to call 911 or a physician the first time they have a problem.
True.
So everybody's going to try to Google it or Chat GPT or some other advanced AI technology. But what is going to happen is that you're going to wash the area.
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean.
What about me like putting my special ointment on at home, like something my apothecary I'm making up, or
correct. So human beings
do you recommend
have been doing this for a long time. Okay, sitz baths have been around where you put various seltzer salts inside water and you allow the area to cool the bottom.
But do you think it's a good idea for me to kind of self-treat and
Yes.
my
Initially, you should try to self-treat with a couple of caveats. You use water or something inert to clean the area. You use a emollient or a cream that's natural like Vaseline or petroleum jelly or some plant-based product.
Something without dyes,
or
perfumes,
or microplastics. So these products can be a lubricant, a moisturizing cream, or something that will allow the skin in that area to heal gently. So
that's a good point too. You probably don't think much about moisturizing your butthole, but why not? You put cream on your joints and on your face
and everything.
In your hair, you moisturize. So same goes with the butthole. That's why it's a crack in the butt. If you have a dry anus, you're way more likely to
a lot of us use toilet paper, which is very harsh, and if you can moisten the toilet paper or use something like baby wipes or
dude wipes.
I was going to say that.
No.
Dude wipes is a new product. Well, we're not supposed to be talking about other products.
I do not promote their product. Never even used it.
I have not either, but I've heard about them, and they seem like a good product. So,
but you get my point.
Yes, use a emollient, a cleaning agent, a rag, or a cloth, toilet paper. No, we're not in the COVID area anymore.
You don't drink that?
No,
for
no,
anal fissure?
that was 2020. This is beyond that. Come on.
Science has improved since then, okay? Don't drink Lysol or what
But don't wipe it with Lysol either.
the detergent. Don't eat detergent.
Yes, that I heard some kids were blowing up bubbles after.
From the mouth and the anus.
Bad idea.
So
Okay.
it's okay to try some home remedies.
Yes, you can for a couple of days if you can't find answers, but during the time frame, find a doctor who will see you soon, because anal fissures should not be left alone. If you leave them for a long time,
Okay.
these get worse and then you require surgery and treatment. So please, guys, prevention is better than cure. Eat better food, take care of your anorectal hygiene, and wipe yourself, and you will improve yourself.
And he said stay hydrated earlier, so that means
Oh yeah,
moisturize, but also drink plenty of water because your system needs that as well to
That's
maintain
very
your
important.
gut health. So
that's so important for your digestive health, your gut health, because if you're consuming food and fiber especially, it needs to absorb the water, expand inside, and then act as a brush to clean out the colon and get the food out of the system. And water is a great lubricant for doing that.
definitely.
You know, we're all cucumbers, 96% water or something like that.
Cucumber?
Yes. So water is
I'm a
so
cool
essential.
cucumber,
Cool
okay?
cucumber.
What about, I see sometimes you're prescribing patients a cream that they can only get at the pharmacy. So-
Correct. So then you come to the medical therapy and then the surgical therapy, for which you need an expert. So there are various products out there that can relax the anal sphincter, because this is a problem where the anal sphincter goes under spasm. When you have a cut, you have an out, what do you call that? Owie? Ouchie, and that's going to cause a lot of pain. So your bottom clamps down, then you need a medicine to relax the bottom.
To help it heal. It's
And-
kind of like we were saying, your body won't pass your bowel movement when it's in this state because it's aggravated, so it's kind of shutting it down. It also will have a harder time healing too.
Correct.
So it's not going to perform its natural ability.
Don't take too long. See a physician, a provider, a nurse practitioner, or somebody who's an expert, so that they can help you very quickly and heal your sore bottom.
How long do you try those types of prescription creams before surgery is even discussed?
Well, when you see an expert and you've gone around and seen other doctors, you've already been through the mill, and it's probably been 30 days or 60 days or longer. And when you come to us, you may have a fissure for a long time. At that time, with certain findings, we may tell you, hey, you need to go to the body shop, and we may need to operate on you and take care of the fissure. But that comes after we have treated you with medical therapy, treatment of your food and diet and all of that.
We always resort to surgery last. We want to make sure we rule out all other options because no matter how big or small surgery is, it's always risky. It's always hard to heal from. Everyone's different. No matter what we say, you're going to be different than the next person.
Okay, so the last thing that you would like to tell everybody about anal fissures.
Yes, I want to know what is your best advice for patients, which you already kind of touched on. So,
Ooh, okay.
best advice.
Best advice. Best of the best advice, guys. Don't eat out a lot. Okay, eat out sometimes, but make your food at home. It'll be clean. You'll be able to add more fiber, and your digestive health will be better. Your bottom's gonna thank you $1 million, okay, $1 billion.
It's worth it. Yeah,
Worth
so really, if you're taking care of your body, you're gonna have less problems in all areas of your body, top to bottom. But we're talking about the bottom today. So keep in mind your hydration, your high fiber, and pay attention to what's going on down there every once in a while. Be conscientious if you're, straining too hard or doing something that doesn't seem right or doesn't feel right.
Yeah, we're about to end the talk in a minute. I'm very grateful that we got this opportunity. Fissures are very common. Make sure that you add fiber to your diet every single day, guys.
That's right.
Look at it as a essential part of your diet, and you will not have, a pain in the butt.
A crack in the ass. I said it. Well, I take mine in the morning. My fiber supplement, I have it every morning. That way, when I get home from work and I'm forgetful and lazy, I don't miss it out. So,
Fiber supplement or adding more in your diet, either way, you do that and you try to eat at home mostly. That'll really help you.
Yeah,
Now,
so
that
cook a
doesn't
meal at home
mean
tonight. Also, Google what are the high fiber foods. So if there's something that's your favorite list, you can add it to your diet regularly.
what the body shop, somebody said, is the operating room. I just made a joke about it. But anyways, guys, we're out of time. God bless you. God bless America and this world. The whole world, yes.
God bless America. I won't sing to you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Have a great evening. See you next time.
DaBootyDoc Talk.
Leave us comments and check us out for next week. We're going to post on Monday afternoon what we're talking about, so get ready. If you have a suggestion or a question, you can send it on our social media, or you can message us privately if it's something personal.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the evening and eat lots of fiber and drink lots of fluids.
See you
One more
next
time.
time.
Thank you.
One more time. We'll say it again, I promise.
See you guys. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.